Okay, before anyone says anything, this video was meant to come out a lot sooner. I actually started recording for it at the beginning of September, but then college happened and yeah, but at least I finished it before the end of the year. Woo! Yeah! There are a lot of bosses in Dark Souls 3, 25 in total. There are also a lot of weapons in DS3. Those weapons are sorted into categories, and thinking about that, I got an idea. What if you used a different weapon category for each boss? Is there enough categories for all of them? And if there is, do I have what it takes to pull it off? And therefore, dear viewer, I present to you today's video idea. Can you beat every boss in Dark Souls 3 using a different weapon category for each one? Yeah, the wording is a bit rough, but you get the point. So, let us go over the rules. Rule number 1. After I defeat a boss with a weapon, I can no longer use any weapon from the same weapon category. Just to be clear, by weapon category I mean whatever is written right here. That's kinda it for the rules, but I like to say, paired weapons aren't considered a separate category. For example, Drang hammers fall into the hammers category, even though it says hammers paired. The one-off categories, like the Farron Greatsword, also don't count as separate categories. And I also considered spears and pikes as one category, even though they're technically different categories, I do not see the difference. You know what? Let's play a quick game. Spear or pike? Lothric Knight Long Spear. Pike. Winged Spear. Spear. Saint Biden. Spear. Ring Knight Spear. Pike. Tailbone Spear. Spear. Pike. Pike. Okay, that was a freebie. So, did you get them all? No? Doesn't matter, moving on. Before the run even begins, we of course have to create a character that fits the job. Since we're going to be using a lot of different weapons, and I once read somewhere that women are better at multitasking than men, for this run I chose a female character. And since this video is all about diversity, I decided to make her a dark-skinned tomboy muscle mommy. Oh, and just to add another layer to the diversity, let's say she's bisexual. After we know who's going to be today's hero, we need to meticulously plan out the whole run. If I want to play this smart, I should use the less viable categories earlier in the run on the easier bosses, so that I have actual weapons for the more difficult fights. We'll see if I manage that. I would also like to say that the weapons I chose were in no way the most optimal options. Some of these were for the memes, some for variety, and some were chosen almost at random. Right, that should be it. Let us begin with the cemetery. Alright, here we go. Thank goodness this is not a speedrun. I can do whatever I want. This is where the fun part begins. So we obviously don't want to waste any good weapons here. We don't want to waste a straight sword. So we whip out this guy. This is gonna be slow and painful. While I slowly murder Mr. Tutorial by repeatedly hitting him with a blunt object, there is a bit of time to say a few words. We're going to be using a lot of different weapons, that's why I'm going to go for a quality build. That is why I picked the Knight, which also leads us to our first weapon, the Knight Shield that belongs to the medium shield category, or standard shield if you wish. Overall, not a big issue. That wasn't so bad. Fucking finally! I'm for the wall.
And you there to the head.
Nice, that wasn't so bad. Okay, so now we do work. I think so. But do I have the stats for it though? I have to. 36. I have 15. That's gonna be a bit of grinding, eh? Still better than the Feather and Dart.
Call an ambulance! Call an ambulance! But not for me!
Well, that fucking sucked. I'm glad I did that first try. I wouldn't want to repeat that shit. Oh, that's not gonna end well.
What is it now?
Okay, there's nothing around here, right? Yeah. Not even close. Turn around, but he has no clue. He doesn't know. Nope, I said he doesn't know. Where are you going? It appears I'm in quite a pickle. Alright, here we go. This is gonna suck. So, for Crystal Sage, I thought it would be funny if I used the staff, since he's a sorcerer. However, I soon realized that it wasn't a good idea. The first phase is easy enough, just stay in the middle and as soon as he spawns, run towards him and whack him to force him to teleport away. If you're fast enough, he won't even have enough time to do a single attack. The main problem is his second phase that starts when he gets down to about 70% health. As you probably know, he will spawn 3 other clones that have the following properties. Their attacks are light blue instead of purple, their attacks do less damage, and the clones themselves die in one hit. So I initially thought, oh that's fine, they die in one hit so my low damage doesn't matter. I'll just get rid of the clones and then I'll have some space to deal damage to the main one. But I soon realized that this won't work. Running around and trying to hit the clones with such a slow and pathetic attack was way too dangerous and I'd often get hit. I'd also like to mention that I did a whopping 24 damage per swing. The stage has about 2700 health, so if you do the quick math, you realize just how long this would take, and so I needed a safer strategy. After a while, I realized the key mechanic that was going to lead to my victory. Normally, when you hit the main sage, they all stop attacking and teleport away. But I noticed that the main sage won't teleport away if he has his soul masses active. The problem with this is that they of course home in on you when you get close, so there's only a small window for you to attack. So I tried the strat of killing the clones and waiting for him to cast the soul masses, run in, get a hit or two and repeat. This proved to be pretty safe, but also incredibly slow. But then I also found out that if you stay about this far away from him, he pretty much only casts the soul masses. Get a bit closer and he starts swinging. Get too far and he does whatever he wants. And so I was finally able to defeat the Crystal Sage with the funny peanut staff. 1, 2, 3, and okay, next cycle is, that's it. I just whack him? No. No. He got away. I can't fucking believe that. One hit. No way. I fucked it up. Camping. They are camping. I'm not risking it. Oh, you're so fucking dead. Hooray. That fucking sucked anyways. I can't believe that fucking happened. The ending was insane. We're almost at 6.5 hours, but yep. That's another fucking boss fight. And I do not want to see this thing ever again. It feels so good to play with a normal weapon again. After getting to the cleansing chapel, it was time to make a little detour and collect a few items. Fucking damn it. Alrighty, and day 2. Let's do this shit.
Thanks, sweetie. Wait, come.
that. Here I tried to introduce the mimic to the demon, but for some reason he was more interested in me. After some convincing, I managed to get them to play together. However, they weren't very compatible, so the mimic decided to take out his anger on me. After that, I went for a chat with Horus that went better than I hoped.
Tactical nuke incoming!
Killed the worm. Experienced racism. Killed the racist and stole his shirt. Then I ran past the weirdo to try to convince me that vaping isn't really that bad for you. Made this dude experience gravity. And finally got to probably the most boring fight in this run. Alright, this should be fun. So, next up is Wolnir, which shouldn't be a hard fight. I have a mace. It's a pretty good weapon, but it also sadly means that I'll have to say goodbye to the mace that has been so good to me for the past, I don't know how many hours. I've used it for most of the run so far, and sadly I'm gonna have to find a new companion. Nice. Nice. Give me the fucking hand! Tremendous. So long, my friend. Seems like I found a sufficient replacement. Nothing notable happened in Interfill. I was mostly just getting familiar with my new weapon. After engaging in some intense dueling again, I moved over to the 6th dungeon. There, I encountered this weirdo that wouldn't shut up about some guy called Kenny Lingus. Then I found his friend who was into war, but as I was playing as a strong female character, I of course didn't let myself get violated. I don't even want to think about what this thing is into. After dealing with the food fetish giant, I made some onion rings and it was time for Yhorm. Next up is Pontiff. My weapon of choice? The dagger. As most of you probably know, Pontiff is very susceptible to crit, but in order to riposte, you need to parry first. And to land a parry, you need a parry tool, but since I couldn't use any shields, I thought I could just use my bare hands to parry, like this. No problem. But then I thought, wouldn't your bare hands be considered fists? If bare hands would be considered as fists, that would be an issue since it would rid me of another weapon category. This is pretty debatable and I'm still not sure about it. However, I didn't have to think about it because I found a workaround. Meet the parrying dagger. This obscure, rarely used weapon finds its niche in this challenge since it's a parrying tool and a dagger. That means I can use it in combination with the regular dagger, because they both fall into the same weapon category. With that said, please enjoy me using a parrying tool I've never used before and messing up the timing.
やれやれだ。
Before I would take on Aldrich, I wanted to upgrade the broadsword I was going to use, but I was a bit short on Titanite. Conveniently enough, the Silver Knights have some pretty good drop rates for Titanite, and so I farmed them, only slightly awakening my PTSD. Calm the fuck down, Midget boy. Wait, what, you're alive? Not bad, but guess what? After Aldrich comes yet another boss, meaning I'd have to upgrade yet another weapon. And so I had to visit the shiny silver rabbit man once again. Sometime later, I had the funky rocks to upgrade whatever weapon I wanted to use against the dancer. And what better weapon to use against her than the whip? That's right, remember when I said our protagonist was bisexual? That was specifically for this section. And now that I had the means to dish out some punishment, it was time to get intimate. Is this the blood? The blood of the Dark Soul? So, it is now time for Dragon Slayer armor. And that means that I'm gonna have to say goodbye to the Butcher Knife. Yep, it's been great, but gonna have to move on. Wonder what weapon I'll use next. We'll see.
You can be cooler than that, chap. Beg for your life! You can't break this shield, chap! Sweet! You can do better than that! I'm fucking invincible! The fuck? That all you got? I'll bathe in your blood! Can't lay a finger on me! I'll split you in two! Hey! This is fun! I want to hear you scream, Jack! Scream in pain! You want to win, you gotta want it! Cry for mercy! I love this shit! Not too bright, are you? Playtime's over, Jack! Time to die! Son of a bitch! You got me!
Okay, I figured it out. Katana's gonna be my next weapon.
All-consuming Lord of Cum. Your cum sucks dick. A slash of cum.
Alright, so next boss fight, obviously the princess, and I chose to use a great axe, specifically Yhorm's Great Machete. Why Yhorm's Great Machete? Well, no particular reason, I just wanted to play with it. And also it gives me use for a Titanite scale. Yes, sirroo! We're continuing. Fuck off. Fuck off. Wasn't so bad.
No!
The Nameless King, one of the most difficult bosses in the history of gaming ever. For such a fearsome foe, I for sure needed to plan ahead and think of a strategy. Which weapon would be the best? Something with good damage, something with fast moveset, something with a lot of range. And so, I decided to confront the internet and learn from the only best source, r/Dark Souls 3 on Reddit. I've been trying to beat Nameless King for like 2 days and he isn't going down. I don't even find this boss fun anymore. I've come to the conclusion that the Nameless King is impossible. He just has some kind of hacks. Nameless King just can't be beat. Fucking Nameless King. Nameless King has got to be the most frustrating boss of them all. Beat the game, but can't beat Nameless King. But I've tried over 100 times. I'm about to rage quit because of Nameless King. I've tried killing him hundreds of times. I have never gotten him below 50% health. Is it okay to cry at Nameless King? Commemorating my 100th death to the Nameless King. Nameless King is the worst boss in Dark Souls 3 outside of Deacons of the Deep. Help. I'm struggling with Nameless King, hardest boss in my opinion. I'm using Twin Axes plus 10 without shield. Is there any tactic or something to kill this MFer? I hate the Nameless King. Sorry. Nameless King Phase 2. Can someone explain just what the fuck can he do in his moveset? Beat the game multiple times and can easily beat every boss in the game except this stupid guy. I've only managed to damage his second phase twice. That's not a joke. I can easily no-hit the first phase, but it's just the second phase attacks that guy simply cannot dodge or do some shit about all. I just can't anymore. I've asked for help on here. I've attempted probably going on 100 times over 3 characters. Nameless King is impossible. Once it is just 1-on-1, he wrecks me. I can't get more than 1 or 2 hits without him killing me. This is the hardest boss in the game. Nameless King. What the fuck? Every damn time I want to fight him, I have to bite his stupid burn and it makes it feel like it's so much longer than it actually is. I hate Nameless King. I am going insane. Don't let me go hollow. Nameless King is so disheartening. Right, so for Nameless King, I decided it would be a great idea to use a small shield, just to show everyone that it's not a hard fight. I'm not gonna regret this later, cause the fight is easy, okay? Mark my words, no problem. I just think that was crazy. Woo-wee, mama! What an easy fucking boss! With Nameless King out of the way, it was time for Cinder Chan.
素直に I love you 届けよきっと You love me 伝わるさ君に合うガラスの靴を探そう二人で先輩よいつまでも深夜12時を過ぎたって僕らのラブマジックは時計はしないおいで召しませお姫様毒のリンゴを食べて眠っちゃいそうな砂をする君がとても愛しい当たり前宝物さ地球は回り日は昇り君は微笑む素直に I love you 届けよきっと You love me 伝わるさ君に合うガラスの靴を探そう二人でステップアンドゴーいつまでも深夜12時を過ぎたって僕らのラブマジックは時計はしない意地の悪いまま母にも急な雨にも寂しい夜にもへこたれない君がやはり愛しい
ナイスナイス。
シンデレラ Hey, hey, hey!
Now, DLC. Okay, so I was wondering, this is like a church, right? And Friede obviously looks like a nun, but do you think it works the same way as in real life? The key question being, do you think she's a
Light
amazing. This is so much fun. Playing with all these different weapons, that was a cool idea. I think I'm proud of myself for coming up with that. Deserved. the run. Hold on, time. Yep, 14 hours, 10 minutes. That's a world record right there. Alright, so the run is over now, but I would real quick like to say a few things about each of the weapon categories and my thoughts and about the boss and matchups and whatever. So the first one was the Knight Shield, representing the medium shields. I went against Gundyr, which is not a difficult boss, and overall, a few chokes aside, wasn't that difficult. Pretty easy. Next was the Lothric Knight Great Shield, representing obviously the Great Shield category. I used this against Vordt, which was not a difficult fight. The most difficult part about that was getting the weapon and getting the requirements to wield it. Otherwise, not much of a problem. My next weapon was the light crossbow, which I used against the curse-rotted Greatwood. The fight itself wasn't that difficult, since if you keep your distance, he can't really do much. But at the same time, the damage was very pitiful. It was very slow. My only thoughts on that are that I'm very glad that I managed to get it on first try, because I wouldn't want to repeat that. So, the staff. Used this obviously against Sage, and yep, it was straight up horrible. It was terrible, but I had my fun, and it was fun in a way. I was forced to create a strategy, and in the end, I was pretty happy with what I came up with. Kind of like a strat, like abusing the moveset. Then I went against the Deacons with the Exile Greatsword. Not really an issue. I chose this weapon because, as I said, I wanted something with wide swings to have some area control, and I think that the Exile Greatsword managed to do that, do what I wanted. So yeah, pretty good. Pretty easy fight, even though it was completely unupgraded, as you can see. After that, I switched to the longbow, which I used against Abyss Watchers. Wasn't that bad. Was a bit annoying that the Abyss Watchers like to dodge the arrows sometimes, so that was a slight annoyance, and also the damage wasn't that good, but I managed. Up next is another bow, but this time a bit bigger. The Millwood Great Bow. I used this against the old Demon King. It wasn't difficult, since if you keep your distance, again, he doesn't have much to do. The damage wasn't that bad, just was kind of boring, honestly. Then came Wolnir, against who I used the mace. Not only was the mace amazing against the boss itself, I also used it up until that point throughout the game, so it was very useful. Then it was time to defeat Yhorm, and honestly no difference. Used the Storm Ruler just like in any other run. Yeah, not a problem. After Yhorm came Pontiff, who was the only boss fight during which I used two different weapons. Honestly, not much to say about the dagger. Dagger was good, did its job, got me the crits. The parrying dagger, on the other hand, also wasn't that bad, but more so I just didn't know how to use it. I'm not that familiar with the weapon. I don't really know the timing, but I somehow made it work. Aldrich wasn't that big of a deal. Great swords are as easy to use as it gets, so not much to say about that. The dancer. Ooh, the dancer. And the whip, of course. Kinda just stating the obvious, but the whips suck. The whips are bad. At least it has long range. As I said, I only chose it because of memes. The butcher knife. I used this against the Dragon Slayer armor. It was a pretty effective weapon that replaced the mace after Wolnir. Yhorm's great machete. The coolest part of this weapon is the special heavy attack moveset that you get if you apply Warcry. However, I didn't really use that, so it just worked as a standard great axe for me. Pro talents. Pretty good. I used them to defeat Oceiros, and they were pretty effective. Not much to say. I'm pretty sure I even procced the bleed once or twice. The Cestus, the Castus, the whatever the fuck you want to pronounce it. Not bad. I used these little fucks to defeat Champion Gundyr, and overall, pretty alright. The trade-off for this weapon is that it has pretty good damage, but absolutely no range. The Aerial Rapier, not much to say. Fuck the Wyvern. The Nameless King and the Eastern Shield incident. Jokes aside, wasn't really that difficult. Shields obviously aren't that good when you use them as actual weapons and try to do damage with them, but for such an easy boss fight, I needed to handicap myself somehow. Yes, the Black Blade. I used this to cut down Cinder himself. Not a bad weapon. The damage is good. The only disadvantage is that I'm pretty sure it's the shortest katana in the game. However, this wasn't much of a deal. Pretty okay. Pretty good. Gundyr's Halberd. A fun weapon to use. I don't really use halberds that much, but against Sister Friede it was surprisingly effective, and also the weapon art had its use as well. The Cartus Curse Sword. Not much to say about this one. It's a standard curse sword. I use this one specifically because it does bleed damage, and the demons are weak against bleed. The Dragon Slayer Spear. As the name suggests, I used it to take down a dragon, so I guess it does its job. Yes, the legendary Ring Knight Bared Greatswords. Kind of a meme weapon, but I also used it against a meme boss, so I guess it cancels out. And last is the great Gorvian Scythe. The weapon's great, even though it builds up bleed when you use it. I never really found that to be a big issue. However, the biggest fucking problem with this weapon is how extremely rare it is to get. It took me like more than an hour of grinding, but at least the weapon art is pretty cool. Alright, those were all the weapons, and this is the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching if you watched till the end, and I'll see you in the next video. Lifeless out. Bro, I hate this shit. So fucked up, ain't it? Right, get the fuck away from here. Thank you. Insanity is settling in. This is a joke. Nice. That took long. You fucking bitch. You get 3 hits in. That doesn't do much damage. Okay, good. Keep calm and... Peanut. Yeah, why does this staff look like peanuts? Like, you cannot tell me that does not look like peanuts. Yo, that was fucking sick. I'm sorry, what? Giving me a fucking sharp gem? Really? Are you fucking shitting me? I get a vertebrae shackle before I get the sword. What the fuck is that? That exists? That's not in the game. They just patched that in. I don't think I've ever seen that. Okay, well, cool. No, wait, what the fuck? Why did I do that? I'm gonna kill myself, okay. Cool, anyways.
Oh no!
Are you kidding me? What the fuck? What do you mean? Okay, this is actually insane. This guy, he deleted his account, but this guy wrote an entire fucking essay on how to beat the Nameless King. Like, ain't that crazy? Look, that's so much text. Holy shit. And he got 100 upvotes. That's so sad. That's so sad. By the way, this guy's using a Friede blade build. That means he's gone through the second DLC. He's gone through literally everything. But he still hasn't beaten fucking Nameless King. That's crazy.